Oh, I can't wait to use the new Blood Awakening skill.
Wait, how does it actually work?
Why are you both looking at me? I've got no idea. It's just kind of damage.
Oh, for God's sake, how much damage? Hello then, my fellow hunters. How are you enjoying the bittersweet loveliness that is this bonus update and the magnificent final hunt that is Mr. Primordial Malzeno? I hope the answer is greatly, and with not too much sadness, because it's been one hell of a ride. But that ride is not quite over, because we've got new armor, we've got new weapons, we've got new skills, and that means new builds, new testing, and new potential. But just how much potential? Well, Blood Awakening then. Let's get down to business and see just how good this skill is, if it's even worth using, and if it's going to actually do much of anything to the existing builds, because the Primordial Malzeno armor by itself is not exactly setting the world on fire, because he was the one trying to prevent the world from being destroyed, so it'd be kind of ironic if he did. Haha, Lord joke. Anyway, let's actually look at it, as it's described, as helpful as that is in the world of Monster Hunter. Gradually bolsters your attacks for a certain period of time. Sorry, I can't even get past this first sentence. It makes your attack go up. How much? We're not going to tell you. How long does it last for? A certain period of time. It's just... Please, in Monster Hunter 6... just put numbers on skills, oh my god. And then depending on how much health you get, any specific, kind of prep, just generally health, how much exactly? Can I get a number? Oh, at least it's specific that it's only when landing attacks. So yes, as a quick one to begin with, you're not going to be triggering this by throwing out life powder or anything like that. You have to regenerate health when you hit the monster, i.e. from Blood Blight or from Blood Right. And just as a refresher, Blood Right is you simply heal for 30% of the damage you deal, 10% per rank. So, Blood Awakening then. You have, when maxed out on health as a hunter, 200 health. There are two thresholds to Blood Awakening, when you've healed for 50 health and when you've healed for 150 health. Then you will activate the skill, and the strength of it will be based on how many ranks of Blood Awakening you have, 1, 2, or 3. So to put it in a kind of actual situation perspective, let's say you're swinging a greatsword around. In order for you to trigger the 50 healing requirement, say you have 3 Blood Right, well, 30% of the damage hit needs to equal 50 or more. And then to trigger the second threshold of healing for 150, well, you have to deal 500 damage or more in your attack. Now that said, you don't have to do this damage all at once. You dual bladers and such, you can nick away at the monster, at the broken part with Blood Right, or just generally with Blood Blight, and once you have accumulated that amount of healing, you will activate the skill. If you activate the skill at the 50 healing threshold and then manage to get to the 150 healing before it runs out, well, you will upgrade to the 150 power. And by runs out, what exactly does that entail? Well, that certain period of time is officially 30 seconds. So as soon as you've healed for enough to trigger the skill, i.e. a minimum of 50, you now have 30 seconds to A, enjoy your bonus damage and element, as yes, it affects element 2, and B, try and get to 150 healing to upgrade to the stronger effect and have a more powerful boost during those 30 seconds. As far as I can tell with my testing, upgrading from the 50 to the 150 threshold doesn't reset the timer, so you've got to make do with what you have. This naturally makes the skill much more suited for weapons that can immediately heal for 150, so big damage single hits like Greatsword that can just immediately trigger the strongest form of the effect. So, with that all said then, let's actually, talk the numbers. The easiest way I can do this is just by popping them on screen, so you can keep track of what I'm saying, and boom! So, at level 1, level 2, level 3, you can see the results. If you get to 50 healing, at level 2 that remains the same, and at level 3 you will get a much more respectable 15 raw and 15 element. That's kinda... You know, the 150 is where it's at. At level 1, you get 10 raw and 10 element. At level 2, you get 20 raw and 20 element. And then at level 3, when you heal for 150 or more for 30 seconds, or up to 30 seconds if you don't do it in one go, you gain 40 raw and 30 element. And that is absolutely massive. That is better than Dereliction, and you know how much of a meta skill Dereliction was, and to be fair, still is in a lot of builds, or if you can handle playing with the Drain. One rank of Dereliction is 15 raw with an extra 10 once you've got both Qurios flying around you for a total of 25. This is 40. 15 more than that. This is such a singular massive amp to your damage while it's active, and if you can keep it active, i.e. keep healing for 150, then you are going to see some serious throughput, and that makes this absolutely worth considering, again, if you can have it consistently up. So against afflicted monsters, it might actually turn out to be maybe just the best skill to have, especially if you're getting hit and getting Blood Blight, because you will have it up pretty much all the time. So a couple caveats to note then, or I should say surprise bonuses, because this is much better than you might be thinking. You might be sat there going, okay, well, a hunter has 200 health. If I have to heal 150 in order to make this happen, that means I have to take 150 damage, so I have that much spare health to heal back. Which means I can't heal up in any other way, and I have to play risky on low health to start healing by hitting a broken part with Blood Right, or just hitting the monster with Blood Blight, which isn't really ideal. That still seems kinda... I thought that too, but I had a kind of discovery accidentally, and then I went to test it and confirmed that it's the case. If you hit a monster, even at full health, you will trigger the skill if that hit would have healed you if you were injured. So if you're at full health, you have Blood Right, and you hit a broken monster part, you will still trigger Blood Awakening even though you had no health to gain, because technically your attack would have healed you, and that's enough to satisfy the skill. So that suddenly makes this so much more approachably useful than it otherwise would have been, now that you know exactly how it works. On top of that, that is where this gets exciting. Again, especially if you are a weapon that can very quickly, or indeed in one hit, consistently activate the 150 health threshold, or consistently hit for 500 damage very quickly. And I shouldn't understate the element side of things. Getting a sudden increase of 30 element is massive too, and if that can be woven into an element build, it's really not a bad call to do so. Essentially, this skill lets us play with Blood Right to have that healing and not feel too much of a damage loss from it, because we get that damage back from Blood Awakening, and in perfect hands against the proper placed hits with broken monster parts, this might actually turn out to be a very deadly damage skill. It kind of satisfies both ends of the spectrum. For a casual player that doesn't care about min-max kill times, it just adds damage to your otherwise pure comfort skill in Blood Right. To a speedrunner who's always going to be hammering the same broken part of the monster, it's just a permanent massive damage amp, because they can still get the benefit even at full health. So that's really, really nice that it can be used, well, at opposite extremes like that. And that's kind of all there is to say about it. The question really comes down to, is using the 3 pieces of Primordial Malzeno armor that it's on worth it to get this effect rolling versus other perhaps more efficient pieces? That said, though, the Blood Awakening is on the chest, along with 2 4 slots and a 2 slot and a burst that can be curio crafted away into something more useful if you don't like burst. It's on the gloves that, again, 2 4 slots and a 2 slot and a critical boost, and then the legs that give you all the part breaker, another critical boost, and 2 4 slots. They really are good pieces that let you put a lot of extra skills on top of them, and that is filled with potential. I don't think you really need the helmet for all 3 strengths of Bloodright, because we have the double Bloodright decoration now, we can likely get that even more efficiently than that helmet, but I think there is certainly some legs to a big healing, big damage build that lets you just kind of ignore the monster when it comes to potions and just keep smacking it because you know you're going to keep alive and get rewarded with extra damage for doing so. In any case, I hope you have found this useful, and indeed let me know if anything you discover differs with anything I've found, but I'm pretty confident in these results. Bottom line here, the potential is there, it is way more exciting than it initially looks, and there is every outside chance, if you can maintain good uptime, it actually is a worthwhile, very good, perhaps even desirably meta damage skill that lets you also be much harder to kill because it requires you to run healing on attack. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.